We live in a dream, Aubrey Marcus. It makes no sense because the people before us fucked it up so hard that we're running on the momentum of these knucklehead decisions these fucking dummies had made. And embarrassing ones. You know, like when Native Americans go like, you know, we want back our land. And like, what are they talking about? Oh, you don't want to know. Well, what are they talking about? Well, read this. And you start reading about what the fuck happened to Native Americans when the Europeans got here. Like, it's an unheard of genocide. I mean, it's one of the things that never gets discussed, but there were people here. There weren't just a few. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of people who had lived the same way for hundreds and hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. And not me, not you, people that somehow or another built this place way before we came along. They fucked those people.
Oh, yeah.
They came across and they just stole from them and fought with them and shot them. And
the disregard for human beings has been so prevalent throughout history. And even now, you can see this kind of disregard in all of these corporations and everything they're covering up. I've been surprised this year, and looking back at 2013, how much it extends. You know, like even we mentioned Amber Lyons before, but then her expose on CNN, and then all of a sudden, you realize, oh, I thought it was kind of like Anchorman, where they just kind of report stuff that would be interesting to people, but really, actually, they have other agendas, and the dictatorship in Bahrain is paying them money to do, hype stories for them. And then you're like, okay, so that's way more corrupt. And then you see the Blackfish documentary, and you see how fucked up and corrupt SeaWorld is, changing stories about why these orcas are going off and killing people, and then you keep looking at these different areas and seeing how much is actually corrupt and fucked up. And then, of course, the Snowden thing with the NSA. I mean, go on down the line, and it's like one after the other. You can just count where that money's going to and what their response is going to be.
They got us wrapped up in some crazy shit. Could you imagine if your friend came to you and go, listen, dude, I know you're enjoying a good time here in Southern California, and you got a pool and a backyard that you barbecue in, but we're on a team, and you and I are on a team, and I got some problems with some dudes in Africa. So what we're going to do, we're going to go there, you're going to live there, I'm going to pay you about $100 a week, and you're just going to dodge bullets and shoot people you don't know. Okay? Okay, here we go. You'd be like, what the fuck, man? I gotta move away from Chris. He's crazy. Yo, he's telling me we're going to war with people in Africa. Okay, I'm living in Cleveland. I gotta go to Africa. What is happening here? Chris, you're crazy. I'm not going with you, man. Dude, we're on a team, and it's your civic duty. I've got you scribbled on a piece of paper, and I have a video of you scribbling on this piece of paper that agrees that I get to use you for 6 years.
That's what, one of the things, and one of the things I haven't been on since I read Sex at Dawn, but one of the things that really impressed upon me is that the organizational structures of human beings, what we're designed to do, in most primates, falls in line with what they call the Dunbar number, which is somewhere between 50 to 150 people. And if you had
maybe for you, maybe I get about 500 in there.
Well, if you have that many people and you're making decisions what's best for them, you don't do this crazy shit.
Yeah.
You don't have these crazy thoughts. You say, okay, what's going to be best for this 150 people? Well, these people, they're going to go out and they're going to procure some money. These people are going to, take care of the dance lessons or whatever the fuck you want to do for the tribe. But it makes sense at that point. But then you get these large ass numbers and these manipulations and this anonymity, and things get really wonky. If you had the accountability of a tribe, and you had 150 people, let's say 120, because 150 is the limit, people who knew you intimately well, and there was that one person who kept saying that to people in the tribe, people would be like, shut the fuck up, get out of here. We don't need your nonsense. But now it's just, there's none of that accountability. And the other problem too is that, without that kind of tribal structure, you're fucking stuck with whatever parent you got. And that's your go, and that's your lot, and that's your mentor. Yeah. That's who's showing you the way. There's no way for you to kind of vary and say, oh, this is kind of whack. Let me go over here and stay with these guys for a while. I did an interview with Jimmy Nelson, who did that book before they passed away, went out with the tribes. Oh, wow. And they actually the Russian government gave the Siberian tribe, the Chukchi, they gave them opportunity to move into some housing, basically, where they would have food and television and vodka. And these people live out in the frozen Siberian steppes, like one of the hardest lives possibly imaginable. So they go move into these buildings. They're like, oh, fuck it, we'll try it. Look at all the free time we'll have, and it's warm and shit. So they tried it and, started drinking. And then within a couple months, one night in the middle of the night, they just all packed up the whole tribe and then moved back out to the steppe.
Wow.
Because it's a better life out there.
We can't imagine that, because we're so fucking silly. If you have more zeros, you win. Let's put specific things in the public's hand. Like say, listen, federal government, we've been thinking, and we just think you're too busy. This is what it is. You just got too much going on, man. You can't pay attention. Look, I know how I am. Like when I got too much going on, I'm very flighty. I can't get it together. It's clear that you're in over your head. So let's do this. Let's have you guys only make like really important laws. You work on that stuff. Make sure that, big corporations can't dump shit into rivers. You guys watching that? You paying attention? You didn't pay attention, did you? Yeah, go fix that. So fix that and only concentrate on that shit.
Can't use pesticides that are going to deplete the world's bee population.
From now on, we're going to take over the military. We're going to take over food, and we're going to take over education. Just the people. Look, I'm not saying that we're not going to stop you from running things. We want you to run things. We just think you might have too much power. You might have too much power. You seem like regular people, and yet you decide wars could happen and that natural resources should be extracted from. How did you get to this position where you have that kind of power? That's not what you should be there for.
If every category was donation-based, how many people would be ponying up to give $1 million for a new missile to go launch at some poor fuck?
Zero.
Like, oh yeah, I'm going to take my tax dollars and give it to you because I think I can get 1/8 of this new missile that's going to blow up maybe some questionably bad guys, but likely some.
Why do you have enough warheads to kill everyone on the planet 1 million times over? Don't you just need a couple? Like, how many enemies are you looking to launch missiles at any given time? Do you have to? Oh, we have to be close to them. Okay, how close do you have to be? We have bases in like 100 different fucking countries with killer weapons in them, just sitting there waiting to fuck people off. They talk some shit. It's mad.
Insane. And then you get the news media who's taking some payments to tell people what they want to hear to support these crazy wars. We are, in effect, very much a part of this reality, and we can control and maneuver different things that we are not aware that we can do.
Well, all we need is like a movie or a book or something that hits a switch, that changes a thought, that gets you inspired, that gets you to act, that gets you to do something you haven't done before, and then a year later you live in a different life. Mm-hmm. Dude, I read your book, I lost 100 pounds. I mean, all that shit is there because people are like looking for a spark. They know that this goofy ass way we're living it's silly. If you could engineer reality from scratch, you wouldn't engineer $13 trillion worth of debt, a corrupt fucking political system, a fucked up medical system, fucked up educational system. You wouldn't engineer that. You'd figure out, look, I'm sorry, aren't people the same people that invented fucking computers? They're the same people. And this was their solution for government? I don't buy that. I don't buy that this is their solution for money. The same people who figured out how to send video through the fucking air across the country in the matter of seconds. A network of impossible wireless towers that sends a fucking video of you skiing in Colorado to your friend in Florida, and it sends it to him in seconds. Like, you're telling me they can't make a better thing than money? They can't make a better thing than an ATM machine? They can't figure out something better than stocks and bonds and insider trading? What the fuck is insider trading? You're not supposed to use your knowledge? Wait a minute, you're running a system that if you know about something in advance, you can profit off that. So if you know, I have to make you not profit. What the fuck are you talking? What are you, like, discouraging knowledge?
Like that's gonna work.
Yeah. The most important thing is always for all people to recognize that you're not who you were a year ago. You're not who you were 5 years ago. You're not who you were last week. You're who you are now, and this is the only shit you have control over. So you gotta regulate how much you dwell on regrets of the past. You really gotta be careful, because it's good to have a little. Because my regrets whether it's things of professional nature or the very few regrets friendship-wise, which is one thing that makes me very happy. But you know, there's life is strange. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of factors happening in life. But for sure, who I am now wouldn't have ever happened if I didn't fuck up. If I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't have understand the importance of friendship and kindness. And if I hadn't been cruel at some point in my life, or someone hadn't been cruel to me, I wouldn't understand the beauty of love. I wouldn't understand the full range of it because I hadn't felt the sting. If nobody ever punches you in the face, you don't really appreciate safety. Because a lot of people don't even understand what safety is. You say, oh, we're safe, but you are so not safe at any moment. You know, and when someone's punched you in the face a bunch of times and you've been in a street fight with some guy you barely knew, you got in an argument with, there's something about regular safety that's sweeter.
Yeah.
It's more delicious. Yeah. It's more delicious. It's way better to drive your car straight after you almost lost control on a turn. Like, and then you get back straight, you're like, whoa.
Sure.
I'm not saying that you should go sideways around corners. What I am saying is that there's a fucking yin and a yang to this world, man. And you gotta fuel yourself with the fuck-ups. And most people get stuck in these patterns because they define themselves as a fuck-up. Or they define themselves as a person who doesn't follow through on their ideas. Or a person who doesn't pursue their real interests and loves. You define yourself by that. Well, you know, I guess fucking, I start things and I quit. No, you don't. No, you have started things and you quit. And it gives you a horrible sense of regret that's made you define yourself by that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
You gotta forgive, you gotta learn, and you gotta fully forgive yourself. And people,
you know what you gotta do? Here's a big one. The number one. Here's number one. Write it down.
Yeah.
Write down everything you want to do. I don't mean crazy shit like I'm gonna be the Prince of Brunei. I'm gonna have a base in the moon. Shut up. This is what I want you to do. Write down what you would like to fix about your life. And then just, if you're 30 pounds overweight, you want to lose 30 pounds? Do it the right way. Go start eating vegetables, monitor your calories, write down what you eat, exercise every day, force yourself to do it. Say you're the general. The brain is the general, the troops are the body. The troops don't want to listen, but you go, fuck you, you listen. And you get up and you do it. And then you get to write it down. And if you don't write it down, you don't eat, you don't fuck, you don't jerk off, you don't shower. Write that shit down so you do it. It's like brushing your teeth. It's not something, I don't want to brush my teeth today. What do you want, your teeth to rot out of your head, you fucking dunce? Just do it. Just do it. Make yourself do it. And if you do that, if you write shit down and do that, you can change who the fuck you are.